everybody, my name is Melanie and welcome to our channel. Today I'm going to do a little cooking for you. We're cooking up vermicelli today. We use Q&Q brand vermicelli noodles, also known as Fideo. And I am going to preface this recipe by giving a shout out to my South Texas friends. Don't call me up and tell me I'm making it wrong. I know this is not how most South Texans make vermicelli. This recipe is from George's dad. This is the way he taught me to make it, and this is the way we like to eat it. So we start with the Q&Q vermicelli Fideo noodles. I'm going to brown them and set them aside. Then I'm going to take some nilgai meat from the ranch. Nilgai. If you don't know what it is, look it up on the internet. It is an antelope type animal. It's very good, it's lean, and it's delicious, and it's free to us at the ranch. And I'm going to thinly slice the Fideo meat, the nilgai, and I'm going to chop up an onion and add with it. Then I'm going to add some spices to it and some water and let it simmer until the meat is done. It won't take very long because the meat is very thin, and it won't take very long. So now we're going to move over to the stove where I'm going to fry the vermicelli noodles. Alright, I'm going to add a little bit of oil to my pan. Normally, I will tell you this, I cook the meat, and when it's done, then I usually fry the vermicelli in another pan, brown it up, and then add it to it. But this is my favorite big pan, and so I need to use this to do the browning in, and I'll put it in a bowl and then continue on. So I'm just going to add a little bit of oil. It's just enough to brown the noodles. You certainly don't need a lot. I'm going to go ahead and turn the fire on. You see, it's not even coating the bottom of the pan all the way. It's just enough to get these noodles brown but not greasy. You can see they are a finely, little tiny thin noodles, if you will. Little tiny noodles. Okay. Now, I'm going to turn the heat up high, and I'm just going to stir them around, getting the oil on all of the noodles. Let it get hot, and then it will start to brown the noodles. I do not put any spice on the noodle itself. All the spices are in with the meat and the onion cooking. As you can see, the noodles are starting to brown. I guess you can see those. We like them really brown. We do not want it to taste like spaghetti. Some of the other recipes for Fideo and vermicelli are more like spaghetti, and people use tomato sauce. We don't do that. This is just a browned noodle, very browned. Not very good. I'm going to now take this off and put it in a bowl, which I will add to the meat. The skillet is clean, and that's what I'll be using to cook my meat. If you can see, it is browned. Some of it looks burnt, but that is how we like it, believe it or not. Alright, so now we're going to move back over to the cutting board. Okay, so now I'm going to take my meat, and I'm just going to thin it. My onion's rolling on. They're little thin pieces anyway. So I'm just going to give them just a little chop and cut them into tiny pieces. Little tiny pieces. Okay. Jaylena and Jason will be eating some of this meal. Jaylena actually probably will not eat the vermicelli because she's on keto right now, but I did save her out some nilga meat that she will be cooking up for herself, and probably some vegetables with it. So I'm just going to continue on cutting this up until I have all the meat chopped. And now I'm going to chop my onion. I'm going to slice it thin. I got them sliced thin, just kind of stack them up. I know my knife skills don't match up to Gordon Ramsay, but hey, the onion gets cut. Okay, just like the meat, little bitty pieces. I'm going to continue chopping the onion, and then we will move the meat and the onion to the frying pan. Now I'm going to add a little oil to the skillet, just like I did with the noodles, just a little bit. Move it around the pan. I'm going to add in my cut nilga meat. And I'm going to go ahead and add my spices now. Salt. Pepper, just kidding. Garlic powder, and ground comino, which is my favorite. When I never even heard of comino until I married George, and then he turned me on to comino, and I love it, but he always says, just use a little. I love comino. I like to use a lot. A lot. Alright, so I'm just going to brown it. Now that I have the seasoning on there, I'm going to go ahead and add my chopped onion also. Sure wish you had some smell-o-vision. That comino smells delicious. With the onions in it, yummy. Y'all, I can't hardly see without my glasses. I don't wear regular glasses, just reading glasses, but if you're joining me for the first time, I have a vision problem. I have low vision. I'm not blind, but it's low vision. And I really do have a hard time seeing. Okay, so I'm not trying to cook the meat. I'm just browning it good. Then I'm going to add some water and let it simmer. Pardon me, I'm going to have to put on the reading glasses to see. Oh my goodness, it smells good. Always reminds me of Pop. That was George's dad. That's what I called him, Pop. We have a good relationship. Alright, now it's browned down and I'm going to add a little bit of water to it. Off camera here, I'm guessing. Okay. Now, I'm going to turn that down to simmer. I want to spell it, but I don't know any other way to really show you. I'm going to turn it down to simmer, and I'm not quite sure how long it will take, more or less probably about 30 minutes, something like that. And when it's done to the taste, then I add the vermicelli noodles, and it soaks it up. It's not a wet noodle, it's dry. Okay, so now I am going to make some pico de gallo to go on top. Alright guys, now I'm going to make some pico de gallo, which is just a little topping to add onto anything really. It's hot and spicy and we like it. So we're going to start with tomato. We have beautiful tomatoes. We got them from H-E-B. They're the kind that are on the vine. They're delicious. And they were only 98 cents a pound. That's awesome. And we have some fresh jalapenos. And we have cilantro and some onion, which I need. Alright, I'm going to start with the tomato first. Those onions keep rolling away today. Alrighty, I'm going to chop some onion. I mean tomato. Come on, I know what this is. Give it a little chopperoo. Well guys, if you've been watching me for any time at all, you know my biggest thing is technical difficulties. My phone ran out of storage and I needed to go ahead and complete the task that I was working on, but I was able to clear my storage, thank you George, and I want to show you how the meal is progressing. So I'm going to change this. This is the concoction of the vermicelli. It is the meat and the onion that had all the spices in it, and it is cooking slowly. I did taste test the meat. It does need to cook just a tad longer. This is the bowl of browned vermicelli noodles that will be waiting to go into that hot pot. Remember I said brown them liberally. We really like ours even charred. It doesn't matter, honestly. We don't want them to taste like a spaghetti noodle. Also, I am cooking some potatoes. I took the potatoes and sliced them thinly with a mandolin. Then I sprinkled them liberally with salt and pepper, Camino, garlic pepper, and chili powder. And I'm letting those cook slowly. Even though they are thinly sliced, they do take a while to cook through. And I wanted to show you the recipe on my pico de gallo. Not that I have a recipe. I've never made it more than a couple of times. But doesn't it look pretty? That is tomatoes, onions, fresh jalapenos. I did take the seeds out so we wouldn't burn alive. Cilantro, salt, and fresh lime, whole lime squeezed over it. Mixed together and marinating in the refrigerator. Alright, we're back. I have tasted the meat and it tastes delicious, nice and tender. The potatoes are nice and tender. And I have turned the heat back on the meat with the juice in it to get it hot. and I'm going to add my noodles back in. Alright, so I'm going to now add my very browned vermicelli noodles into the meat mixture. It usually makes a good shh sound. I didn't hear it this time. I'm just going to mix them in. I'm going to turn the heat back down. Now, we eat this inside of tortillas. We use Guerrero brand flour tortillas, and we cook them on the comal, and that's how we eat them. So I don't want this mixture to be soupy because it'll get your tortilla soggy. So I'm gonna put the lid on it, and I'm gonna let the noodles get soft. And then we'll check back in. So I finally found somebody to eat my food.
That's right. It's good old vermicelli, some Mexican potatoes, and some pico de gallo in there. Fixing to get after it. Fresh
Right.
cooked tortillas.
I need to see you take a bite, so I'll follow you around.
Well,
Oh, okay.
I'll do it right here.
All right.
Booby got a bite. That's some fine eating there, man. Y'all need to follow her recipe. That's all I can say.
All right. So we're eating in shifts around here today. Dad already ate and tried out the meal. Jace?
I was editing our big video,
It smells really good.
and so
I'm eating the keto Reese's.
this is the
Yum.
only way I know how to eat vermicelli, is the way my mom cooks it. When other people cook it, it tastes a little funky. So what I do is I like it in a tortilla. Some people eat it without, but come on in here, Ma, and show them up close. I like to pack it in there like, you know, when you put your jeans on in the morning. But I put my potatoes in there, vermicelli, a little bit of color in there, put it in a tortilla,
I believe that's the way your dad ate it.
and
And eat half of it in one bite.
good.
Good deal. Well,
Mama knows how to cook.
thank you. I appreciate that better than those smoke alarm jokes you do.
Yeah, so unfortunately, I think Mom gave away her secret on how to cook this, so she can't start that restaurant she's been wanting.
All right. Thanks, Jace, for trying it.
You gotta get out of my face, I need to eat.
All right.